Hi folks, my name is Andrew Rupe, agronomist at Golden Harvest covering East Central Iowa. And I'm here today with this week's weekly agronomy video series. And the topic of our video today is nutrient placement, and more specifically the relay effect when it comes to certain nutrients that we're using within our crop fertility program. When I talk about the relay effect, what that really means is having the adequate and abundant supply of fertility to our crop throughout the growing season. And more specifically, we're going to talk about today, as an example, is nitrogen use. And I'm joined today with Mitch Lobeck. Mitch is a Golden Harvest sales rep in Central Iowa, and he's also a farmer here in just the edge of Polk County, Story County, and Boone County. And Mitch is going to tell us a little bit about some of the changes that they've made on their family farming operation and why they came to those decisions. So Mitch, just tell us a little bit about your farming fertility plan.
Yeah, so we have changed our nitrogen plan quite a bit in the last couple of years. In the past we'd go out and apply 150, 160 pounds of fall applied N, 3 anhydrous, and hope that it was there in the spring. And we had a couple concerns, really three main concerns that drove us looking for some different options. First, the cost of nitrogen continues to go up. So we thought we'd try to find a system that we made sure we used every pound of nitrogen we put out there. Some of the new high yielding Golden Harvest genetics seemed to respond very well to a little more nitrogen and a later application of nitrogen. And then we had some environmental concerns as well. A lot of our farm ground lies within the Des Moines watershed. And while there's no restrictions on that right now, we see that as something that could come in the future. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'd get ahead of the curve on that. So we went to what is, kind of a three-pronged nitrogen approach. A lot of people call it spoon feeding, and that's really what we're doing. In the spring, we'll apply 90 to 100 pounds of spring ammonia, and that'll be variable rated according to soil type, previous yield, previous crop. And with that, we're just seeing a little better application. After the soils went through that freeze thaw, we're seeing easier time pulling the anhydrous, and we're seeing better sealing with the anhydrous. Then we'll apply 30 pounds of UAN, and we'll do that with our pre-plant herbicide. With that, we're seeing better performance out of our herbicide, especially in burn down situations. And we get through that ugly duckling phase a lot faster. That V3 to V5 uneven yellow corn, we can push through that a lot quicker with 30 pounds of N out there. And then we'll come back and top dress later on with urea and a stabilizer. We variable rate that as well according to soil type, previous yield, previous crop. And with that, we're seeing, another shot of nitrogen closer to tassel when that consumption is going to happen. And it gives us the ability to adjust our nitrogen if we feel necessary. If we've got a great stand of corn and we want to enhance that a little more, we got adequate rainfall, we may push that up a little bit. On the contrary, if we got a bad stand of corn or a little bit droughting conditions, we'll hold that back. So, it really met all the qualifications we were looking for with environmental concerns and our yields and the cost of nitrogen. The only real negative thing we've encountered is moving some of that fall work into the spring, which makes it a little more hectic. But with the higher yields, better harvest time stock quality, and a little more friendly to the environment, it's been a good thing for us.
Excellent. So you heard Mitch mention a couple of the great benefits. There's economic benefits, more efficient utilization of it. There's some environmental benefits as well, and some agronomic benefits as well. So I'm going to focus a little bit on those agronomic benefits just to wrap it up. With that relay effect that we're talking about comparing it to just an upfront application of anhydrous in the fall, like Mitch's farm previously did, where we kind of have that early seasoned ugly duckling stage, or just that yellowing of corn until those roots access them. We're getting over that by getting out of the blocks fast with that UAN application with the herbicide up front. So that really gives it a little shot of nitrogen, gets it out of that stressier stage, that yellowy stage, and then it's ready to take off once those secondary roots hit that anhydrous, hit that knifed in anhydrous deeper in the profile. And then to finish off the anchor part of the race on this relay race we're talking about is that top dress nitrogen. So that's where we get a little bit availability across the surface if some of those roots are up a little bit more towards the surface, but also just really kicks it into high gear as we get into the tassel time frame and into the grain fill periods later into the growing season. The last thing that I just wanted to mention is a little bit on the differences that we've seen with broadcast versus banded nitrogen. Within the industry, there's been a lot more banded approaches to nitrogen and overall fertility management. And it kind of goes back to what Mitch was talking about in how economic and how efficient the banded approach can be. So those are things like wide drop nitrogen, planter applied fertility, whether that's 2x2, 2x0, or in-furrow applications. And then maybe also side dress could be included in that as well. So we're putting that, that fertility closer to the root zone where we can get better root interception, and then and just having more efficient utilization of those nutrients. So if you got any questions on this nutrient placement or this relay effect, I encourage you to reach out to your local Golden Harvest agronomist.